We're gonna see what we're praying for. We believe.
And he empowers that with his spirit, and I know that God is speaking. He give me the word, the still small voice, and then the anointing, the spirit come on me and touch me. And I know that's God. And that's when I act on it. I act on it. I'm at a point now where I know when speaking, and I know when the devil's speaking, and I know when my spirit is just in the way of all of this working in my life. Think about that, how to recognize, and sometimes we could just have God moves on me with strong desire. I have such a strong desire to do something, and I wait. I learn over years, if you'll wait long enough, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word, when I'm making major decisions in my life, I'm waiting for confirmation. And when I get that second or the third, I'm more than sure that God is in it. God is moving. God is working it out. Because I allowed him to bring confirmation. And that'll keep a lot of us out of trouble. When we just get one good, we hear it in our spirit one time. And especially when it's major and we don't wait. Oh, there's a price to pay when you don't wait. I've seen it over the years. Friends that I've known, just it brought them in such sadness in their lives because they didn't get a confirmation. I've always been the one to learn how to wait and wait for confirmation. Some situations you get in, like I was in the church, and I had to get up and do it because it was my time was coming when they finished singing, and that's when I just acted on what I believed. And then I just learned, I just stay sensitive to when God is talking. God speaks to me and tells me things to do. Sometimes I have a strong impression. Sometimes it'll just, the Bible, sometimes God speaks when your pastor is talking to you, or you may be facing a situation in your life and you got 2 or 3 people telling you the same thing. God's going to work it out. God's going to, hopeful. It may look helpful. It may look helpless. But you've got out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word is established. And you started standing on that and believe it. God speaks to you. If you're not hearing the still small voice, he's using 2 or 3 other witnesses to talk to you. You need to respond. You need to just do what God has put down inside of you. Once you've got the 1 or 2 witnesses, every word is established. Every word. And that's what I believe all these years. When I get the second and the third witness, I'm more than sure God's working it out. God's got this thing in his hand, and it never fails. When I get that 2 or 3 witnesses, when I'm making major decisions in my life, it all worked out. God spoke to me and told me to start sharing my testimonies on the web. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. It brought me in such a joy, such a peace. I have such passion for this. I enjoy sitting here just talking to you from my experiences. My goal is to help you. My goal is to help bring you into the fullness of God, what God's best. God has a plan that's going to radically transform your life. I learned my experiences in my giving. Back in the day, I was a tightwad. God brought me into about giving, but I wanted to hold on because I worked hard for my money. And I'm sitting there, and I heard this little voice saying, give $50. I'm like, oh, no, I want my money. But over time, I learned how to sow and hear and respond. And the windows of heaven open up over my life, my business. And then I started being service. God said, give 1,000. Give 1,000 here. Do this, do that. And I God gives me a witness when I'm making those major decisions in life. And he can do it. You just got to believe for it. And I just want to thank you for stopping in on this broadcast on how to recognize God's voice when he's talking, knowing the characteristics of God and knowing the devil's characteristics, and able to discern, because he's speaking to you all the time with thoughts, with dreams, with most common ways through the still small voice in 1 Kings 19 and 12. He's talking to you, or he's using people to talk to you. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. That's somebody's talking about your situation. You hear the preacher saying, then you talk to someone that you may know, and they're talking about the same thing, and then you hear from another source. God's talking. Just be a responder. Be a responder of what's on the inside of you, and you will reap the blessings. I wouldn't be in business today if I hadn't heard and got it confirmed that God was calling me to be an entrepreneur. I love doing what I do. I have passion for my business. I love it. How to bring total fulfillment. But you got to listen. Learn to recognize when he's talking and when the enemy. And I want to thank you for stopping in, and I release my faith that you're coming into the fullness and be able to recognize when the Spirit of God is talking and be able to recognize when the enemy is talking. Thank you.
Stronger